Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stormlord's Wrath. I am your illustrious host, an amateur content creator and streamer extraordinaire, croverload. Please call me Cam. And as always, I am joined by my extremely talented better half, Abrose, also known as Emily. Don't tell me to shut up when I'm complimenting you. How dare!
I did. Well, I did.
So this is a weekly show that we stream on Twitch every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. British summertime at the moment, I think it is. And that's over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/croverload. I stream 3 times a week. So I do this on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, I do kind of general D&D chatter, and then on that's at the same time, and then on Sundays at about 4 p.m. BST, I do just like a general gaming stream where we play games and hang out and stuff. Currently playing Persona 5 is good. If you're interested in D&D stuff, including actual play, discussions, and gaming, you should follow. I think it would be very nice to have you join us. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you. The YouTube channel itself is extremely baby at the moment. At the time of recording, we have a incredible 18 subscribers, and we need 100, or I need 100 to get a custom URL. So that's my big dream, my lofty goal is to have a custom URL on YouTube, because I was an idiot and decided to start a new one rather than just redoing my old one. So if you're interested in watching VODs, and I'm also planning on doing some kind of actual content on there and like discussions about like my thoughts on D&D and my experiences and stuff like that, go and click subscribe. It's croverload. It's saying there's a link down in the thing. And go and do that, please. I mentioned in the pre-show that I was going to talk about this now quickly before we jump in. But Emily,
Yes.
how do you feel about last week?
It was rough.
It was rough. It was very rough, and I apologize.
Yeah.
So I think last week taught both of us, but me in particular, I learned a very valuable lesson from last week's session. The first lesson being, read the stat blocks of the monsters that are in the adventure, and don't just think, oh, archer, dude with a bow, what could possibly go wrong? Oh no, they have 75 hit points and can deal a bajillion damage because they've got good eyes.
Good eyeballs.
Yeah, like I thought, these Dark Tide Knights, they're going to be a bit rough. Just not thinking about that at all. And then just the other thing being, especially in a one-on-one game, with the absence of the party dynamic, you lose, I think, what is a very, very, very valuable piece of what makes combat entertaining in D&D. So I especially, and I think part of it was because you were getting stressed out as well, and I was getting stressed out because it was a long, sloggy battle. You were running out of resources. When I
think about it as well, were the archers and the knights had different turns, didn't they?
Yes. And how do you mean?
Like, I mean, they had different initiatives, so yes. It was like for every one turn you got. Oh, well, I suppose Quinn was on his own initiative as well.
Yeah. It's every unique monster type gets its own initiative. They don't all go on the same number, which is good and bad for different reasons. But yeah, so I guess the main thing for me is like I want to challenge you, obviously, and there are going to be times where I want to run you through a gauntlet. But we're in a situation now where, because that first fight was so hard, you're now going up against the boss with 1 spell slot and not a lot of hit points, which is a very interesting and
Well, that's the thing. Durabelle's fine.
Okay.
Like, health-wise, she's okay. It's Quinn who's almost dead.
Well, maybe it's time for him to die.
No.
But I guess that's what I'm saying is I want to push you and I want to challenge Dourebelle, especially because those two in tandem are a force to be reckoned with. However, what I don't want is for combat to just devolve into it's the enemy's turn, they hit you. It's your turn, you hit them. It's the enemy's turn, they hit you. And there's only so much kind of narrative stuff you can add to kind of a bit of a slobber knocker like that. Whereas when you've got a party, you've obviously got, you can kind of riff off others, you can discuss tactics, and there's a lot more depth to it. It's surprising how much of that is lost when you don't have other players.
Yeah.
So like going forward, and you'll probably notice it from this session as well. I mean, this is kind of more something that I've come up with myself, but I think role playing is going to try. I'm going to try and make role playing more of the front seat to combat. But I think the upshot of that is there'll be less combat, but the combat will be more challenging, if that makes sense. Because I'm going to have to make up for the fact that when you go into combat, you're probably going to have all your spell slots. So I need to make the things tough.
Just send more archers at me.
Just archers. That's Dourebelle's one weakness. Just archers.
Yeah.
She took an arrow to the knee, and now she just is weak to arrow fire. So yeah, with that little, I thought it'd be nice to discuss the previous session on the VOD as well very quickly before we move into our main, because it gives us a little recap as well. Yeah. So with that being said, shall we move on and play some D&D? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you sure?
No, I'm not ready.
Why not?
Because I'm worried about what's going to happen.
Well, you won't going to have to worry for much longer because it's going to happen and you're going to be dealing with it.
Yeah, well.
So, find your zen, find your center. Exhausted from an unexpected onslaught of battle, Belle and Quinn watch as the tiefling servant of the Stormlord completes her ritual and casts herself into the marsh at the edge of Leylon. You see a pendant around her neck split as she hits the water and sinks, before a massive humanoid creature made of water rises in her place. You can see a shadowy patch within the chest of the creature as it lets out a bellowing roar and the sky cracks with thunder. Quinn looks at you, says, "Oh shit."
When we left off, it was turning around, wasn't it?
So it was turning around. Yeah. So there's a. Let me get Roll20 open. There is an island, kind of out about 60 feet away from where you guys are situated at the moment, and you notice that there are some bodies there. You couldn't quite make out who. There's a bit of fog kind of covering over it and obscuring your view of exactly who is there. But you can see there are people there that appear to be unconscious. And the creature looked at you, roared to the skies, and then slowly turned around and appears to start making its way towards this island.
Okay. Do we need to re-roll initiative?
It depends. Are you going to engage with it?
Well, I look at Quinn I give Quinn a look that's like, we have to stop it.
It's like, you don't have to tell me twice.
Yes, I'm going to engage.
Right. What's the plan?
We need to get its attention away from the people on the island. We need to keep it focused over here at the very least.
Right. Well, I say we shoot it.
With our bows. Well, you with your bow, me with my crossbow.
I mean, you've been throwing around spells like nobody's business. I guess saving your strength is probably a good plan.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what this thing is capable of, but...
And I want to know that if I hit it with my with what I've got left that it's gonna do something.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, Belle, but I ain't doing good. I'm a bit tired.
I can tell.
All right. Well.
As soon as you can, I want you to take one of the healing potions.
Right. Okay.
Let me check something real quick.
I mean, he can go ahead and do that now if you want.
Yes, actually, I will. He will quickly pop a healing potion. Is it one? How much is healing?
2d4, 2d4 plus 2. I didn't change the overlay because I'm a dunce.
So that's 4 plus 2, so 6.
Okay, so he regains 6 hit points.
That's not a lot, but
he's
sort of better than where he was.
I feel a bit better. He kind of like, moves his shoulders around in circles. There's a couple of stretches. Like, well, that's a bit better. As he's doing that, and you cast your eyes across towards this water elemental creature, as it's kind of slowly making its way over the water, you see 2 things. The first thing is you see something shining on the boardwalk where the tiefling fell into the water.
Where her pendant broke, right?
No, her pendant fell into the water with her. Like, the pendant broke as she hit the water. This is something that's on the platform that she was standing.
Right, okay.
Also, you notice something else in the water. Appears to be a humanoid figure. Actually, make a perception check. We'll see how well you can see this thing.
Not great. Perception. 12.
You can see something in the water that looks humanoid that appears to be swimming towards the island. And it's coming from the direction of kind of close to where the settlers' camp is.
So from outside of town coming in towards it. Okay. And you said there was a dark shadow inside the water beast, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try and safely assume that that's the tiefling's body. I'm assuming I can't make it out as that.
No, it's obscured within there.
So I'm gonna tell Quinn that's where he's aiming for the dark spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot my crossbow as well, but I want to make my way towards the shiny thing. Okay.
So you start to. So we're gonna roll initiative then.
Okay.
As you're gonna engage this creature. So go ahead and do that for me.
And is it me or Quinn that gets advantage on?
Quinn gets advantage.
Okay. Okay, well, Dourebelle got a 5. And Quinn doesn't even need advantage because he got a 19 plus 2, so 21.
21, he's straight in. Okie dokie. All right, so Quinn then goes first.
He's going to fire 2 shots at the water beast, at the dark shadows.
He's got a longbow, hasn't he? So he's got a pretty decent range. So yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and roll 2 attacks for me with his longbow.
Yeah, the range is 150 to 600 feet.
That's fine.
Okay, so first shot. 14 plus 6.
Yeah,
so
that hits.
20. Okay, I'm gonna roll a second attack as well. Okay. Oh, that's a natural 19, so that crits.
Okay, so that's 1. So do 3. No, when you can just roll them all together. Do 3d8 plus 4. Is it for Quinn?
It's plus. Well, it says +1, but we didn't say that that needed to be.
It is. It should be +2. So yeah, do 3d8 plus 4.
+4, that's 18 damage.
Oh my god. Okay, so Quinn readies his bow And he's just like, right, come on, let's be having you, water boy. And he strings his bow and does his classic thing of letting out both shots. The first one kind of hits the edge of the water beast's form, and it passes through, and you can see that it reacts, but it doesn't do much.
React much.
The second one, the critical hit, passes through and hits the shadow, and it lets out this wail of pain, and you can hear mixed in within that what sounds like a woman's voice kind of screaming in there as well, like kind of letting out a cry of pain. But it does kind of, when it hits the surface of the water, it does slow the arrow down. Yeah. So he only takes 9 damage in total, the creature. Okay, is he gonna move?
He's gonna move if just so he can get close to where I am, the stairs, so he can run down.
So he's gonna kind of move to where you are.
Yeah.
There. I mean, he can't be on your space, so we'll just say he's like slightly behind. Not that. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know this, I'm being very abstract with this map. Like, it's not a grid or anything like that. We're just kind of using it to facilitate the action rather than dictate the action. Okay, so that's Quinn's go. He can't really do anything with his bonus action, can he? Because he used his second wind earlier.
He's used his second wind already, yes.
So it is now the creature's turn. It's going to kind of stops and slowly turns to look in Quinn's direction, and then it's going to shift again and start moving. It can move. Yeah, it has a swim speed. It's quite fast, so it's going to move to here.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's getting away from yous. Okay. It isn't going to do anything though. So that brings it to your turn.
So Dourebelle's gonna get closer. She's gonna run down, run down and around to try and.
So let's say with her movement, she can get to about there.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to shoot my crossbow at it.
Okay.
16.
16 hits.
Okay, so that's 8 damage, but I'm assuming that's reduced.
Yeah, so the crossbow bolt goes in, and yeah, it gets like it damages it, but it gets like buffeted, and there's like a splash of water that hits the rest of the marsh. Did you say how much damage did you say?
Well, it was 8.
8, so yeah, reduced to 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
would you like to do anything else?
She's probably gonna shout some sort of curse up at the clouds, basically called Talos a little bitch.
What is it? Well, go on. What does she say?
Now you've put me on the spot.
Hey man, I said more roleplay focus.
I know.
Let's do this.
Dourebelle's gonna look at the water beast and look up at the clouds, and she's gonna shout, "What, is your water disciple too much of a coward to turn around and face Moradin's might?"
Oh.
Yeah, she just shouts that angrily.
Roll an intimidation check. Go on.
I'm not very good at these, so. Oh my god, it's a dirty 20.
The creature stops as you scream this up into the heavens and kind of shifts a little bit to look in your direction. And you can kind of see within the kind of like shadowed mass in the center, you get this feeling of like a death stare. Okay.
What better way to get the attention of your enemy than to shit all over their god right in front of them?
You can see the figure in the water getting closer. It's slow. It seems to be struggling against the marsh. But it's kind of making its way over as quickly as possible. Kind of making a big splash and kind of lots of commotion.
Pray to Moradin that is a friendly who has been sent to aid us in this and get the people off the island.
Okay. It's Quinn's turn.
Okay. He's gonna come a little bit closer, not like he's gonna maybe come down the stairs part way, and he's gonna shoot.
So what's like there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's gonna do his double shot again.
Yeah, pop off a couple of shots.
12.
12 misses.
That's what I thought.
Just streaks straight past it.
That one's not gonna hit either. No, it was 13.
No, 13 does hit.
Oh, it does. Yep. Oh shit. Okay.
13 just does. So we'll do. He like strings his bow up like both arrows at the same time, and then one of them like pings off behind him. He's just like, oh shit.
Okay, and then it's 1d8 plus 2. You said, right? Because it's his dex.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you know
what? I'm gonna fix that right now. You can carry on.
No, that was it. I rolled the damage.
Yeah, how much damage?
Yeah, it was 7. 7
damage. Okay, yeah. So the arrow strikes it.
Yeah.
So it'd be 7 reduced to 3.
3.
Its attention seems to be it completely ignores the arrow. Its attention is solely focused on you now.
Good.
Where are we? Where is he? Quinn I Topple. Just edit him.
If you do that, I'm gonna refresh the page then, so it adds it in.
I can't remember, like what. No, it should be. That should be right. Oh, I'm very confused. Explain. What is Arkansas?
America, explain.
Oh, I see what I've done wrong. Okay. It is the creature's turn coming up, so I will do this very, very quickly, just because I'm gonna forget again otherwise. It's what it is. I didn't amend it on the sheet, so like I've amended it on his stats, but I've not amended it on the attack itself, which is now fixed. Okay.
Okay.
So it is now the creature's turn, and it's going to make its way towards you now. So it's going to kind of go how far did it get last time? It got to about here last time. So we're going to say it kind of comes this way and starts crashing through the pier, like the planks and stuff kind of and fall to one side as it makes its way towards you. It's not quite close enough to do anything just yet. So it's going to no, it's going to stay there. And that brings us back to your turn.
How fast is this thing moving?
Pretty quickly. It's kind of moving in. It kind of pauses and then goes like zhush, and is like appears to suddenly be somewhere else. Kind of like it's connected to the water and it's like being dragged around almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fast. It will, like if you stay where you are, it'll get to you next round.
Okay. No, I just had an idea and I realized I can't do it, so it doesn't matter.
Come on, what are you doing?
I am going to going to cast Bane on it.
Oh shit! Okay.
I'm gonna use my. I was humming and hawing, but I'm gonna use my last spell slot to cast Bane on it.
Right. Okay. So remind me, what's the save on that?
It is a charisma save of 15.
Charisma 15. Well, it doesn't have a lot of that. It's not a very chatty creature. It doesn't have a lot of personality. It got a 9.
So he fails.
He is Baned.
So now whenever he makes an attack or a saving throw, you must roll a d4 and subtract that from it.
I'm trying to find a suitable icon to go with that. We'll go with that. We'll go with like
I
the
imagine
broken
as
shield.
the creature approaches, Quinn is just like doing that thing where it's like, "What are you doing, Belle?" And Belle's she's just like,
"Screw it."
And she's like, "Fuck it," you know.
So what does like Dourebelle's never cast Bane before?
No.
What happens?
Let's see. What kind of? So it's sort of like I wouldn't say it's, you know how the shadows kind of like come up and like cling and like dig into you almost sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's a bit like that, except it's like a couple of orbs of light appear, but then they like, it's almost like they turn into spikes and they kind of pierce in. And while they don't do any damage, they're sort of like, it's almost like there's like a bunch of glowing needles sticking out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's just constantly like having to fight against these needles. Yeah, and it reduces its like accuracy and reflexes and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so that's, are you going to do anything else with your turn? Are you going to move or?
I'm going to back up a little bit, try and get like as close to the, I guess, land as possible.
Okay, well you can get, I mean, you can get like there without Quinn being in the way, because Quinn's kind of up the stairs at this point.
Yeah, I'm basically sort of trying to bring it in where it's not, maybe not where it's got advantage, but kind of even the playing field and also not get dragged out into the water. Okay.
That brings us to the top of the round. I just need to roll a dice real quick. Oh dear. Okay. The figure that is that's kind of like swimming in the water, kind of out in the distance towards the island, suddenly stops.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I hope they're not drowning. I like to imagine it's that gif of the guy from, what is it, Golden Boy or whatever, when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go swim in the pool," and he's like,
well, yeah, I suppose it wouldn't be that they stop. It's they stop moving. So they're still like, you can see this person still like floundering around and splashing in the water, but they're not moving forwards anymore. They're struggling against the water.
Okay.
Okay. It's Quinn's turn.
Quinn is going to, seeing that Belle's coming up, he's going to back up a little bit and he's going to fire 2 shots again.
Okay.
He's gonna be like, "Yeah, what's up?" That definitely doesn't hit, because that was 10. Oh, the dice is bouncing, which is really not working in my favor. No, 10 and 11.
No, neither of those hit. They go completely wide.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
okay. He's a bit wide.
Is he gonna move?
Yeah, he's gonna back up a bit just to give me some space to back up as well.
How far? Like to the top of the stairs?
If he needs to get to me within 1 movement, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say he goes there. So next up is the creature, and it continues its forward advance, like crashing through the pier and all the wood and stuff. You hear it crunching and creaking as it makes its way through these like arrows of light piercing its watery flesh as it gets ever closer towards you. And because it has quite a long reach, it's going to take a swing at you.
Okay.
So it kind of like throws out its arm that seems to like stretch towards you.
Yeah.
That is a 21.
Did you subtract?
I did
4
not.
From
It's a 17.
Ha yeah!
Bane!
Bane.
So the so
it
it throws out its arm, and it's like on a collision course, like straight for you. It almost looks like it's reaching out. You can see these like watery tendrils like burst out from this kind of pseudopod like arm, as if it's gonna like reach out and try and grab you. But then as it does, these kind of like light needles that are piercing its way through, it just kind of freeze it in place and yank it back.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's its turn. Now it's your turn.
So how far away is it from me?
About 10 feet.
How deep does the body look in this pool of water?
So the creature is a large creature. So it's roughly like, it's roughly 4 times the size of a human being.
Okay.
And the kind of what you assume to be the woman is kind of in its chest.
Yeah.
So she's up a bit.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to back up a bit more, and I'm going to shoot my crossbow at it again.
Okay. How far back are you going?
Let's see. Its range is 80. I mean, I'm not in this. I'm gonna go like part way up the stairs.
Okay. So you're gonna take up position there and then fire your crossbow. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ooh, no. I don't. No. 10.
10 does not hit.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round. Okay. The figure in the water is still floundering. And it's Quinn's go.
Okay. Quinn's feeling a bit frustrated, but it's an action to use a healing potion, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. He's just going to fire twice again. He was thinking about taking it, but he's getting mad that he can't hit it.
All right, yep, go ahead.
Well, that's an 18 plus 6.
I mean, yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, I'm going to roll the second attack, which is a 13 plus 6.
Yeah, so both of those hit.
So 2d8 plus 4. 4, 8. So 12 reduced to
6. Okay, yeah, so both of them go kind of disappear into the creature's body.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to its turn. And it's going to continue to advance. It's going to kind of get to about here. And then stop at the water's edge. And it's going to throw out its... it's going to throw out its arm at you again to try and catch you.
Yeah.
So I will roll d4. I won't forget this time. Oh. I rolled a 4 on both die. So I rolled a 0. So it got a 5.
Amazing.
So it literally it doesn't even get a chance to throw it out this time. It rears up and then just freezes in place.
Amazing.
Your turn.
I'm up a little bit. So am I like face level with the body, just out of curiosity?
We can say you are, yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna be reckless. I'm just
Why
gonna
not?
shoot my crossbow. I suppose. Where's the fun in that? Could I try and make a axe attack if I jump? If I've lured it to a place where I'm level with it, can I jump and swing at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to jump, then here's how we'll do it. It's not difficult because you're quite athletic. It will be a DC 10 athletics check. If you succeed, you'll have advantage. If you fail, you'll have disadvantage.
Shit. Okay.
Or you can just run up to it and lump it. Like, it's entirely up to you.
Yeah, but it looks cooler.
It would be cooler if you do it this way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and jump.
Okay.
And is it plus athletics?
Yes.
Okay, I feel much better about that then. Oh, well, 16 plus 7.
Yeah, so that's perfection. Because it's not like you're jumping far and you're already elevated thanks to the stairs. That's kind of why I set the DC quite low. So yeah, you jump. There is a catch to this though. So you jump and swing with your axe. So go ahead and roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna be jumping and swinging like sideways. I imagine swinging down would be. I wouldn't be able to perhaps dig the axe as far in. So. Ooh, that was really bad. That was like so bad that I don't even hit bad. I got a 3 and a 1 on the die.
Oh my god.
So 11.
11 does not hit. So you jump up and you go to swing the axe down, and at the last second the creature pulls out of the way. Like maybe it kind of like catches like what you're trying to do and where you're aiming, and just reflectively whoosh, out of the way, and you fall to the ground. You suffer 1 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Oh no.
Because you fall quite a distance.
Okay. My pride is wounded more than my body.
That brings us to the top of the round. The floundering stops.
Shit.
And it's Quinn's turn. You'll be moved slightly. You're going to be like here, because you'll be at the bottom of the stairs now.
You know, maybe.
You know what?
What?
You need to make a concentration check.
Because I took 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Come on, dice, please don't fail me now. 10.
10 is fine. Just.
Oh my god.
So you manage. You land and you're like, oh shit, and then you just manage to maintain your concentration on the spell.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's Quinn's go.
See, you know, Quinn sees what Belle does, and he's like, you know, that's pretty cool. I bet I could do it better.
He would do that as well.
And he is going to do the same thing with the Dragon Slayer.
Okay, so he's coming from the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be slightly harder, but if he succeeds, then both attacks will have advantage, because he's just going to be like zhun zhun through the air.
Do I roll this d20? It's been failing me, but I guess. It's a 13.
13? Yeah, that's just enough. We'll say that's okay.
He's feeling a bit winded, so.
Yeah, it's not that much harder because he can just like throw himself off, but he is falling a greater distance. So go ahead and roll both attacks with advantage with the Dragon Slayer.
Okay, I'm not going to use that die from my other one because fuck that. I'm also going to roll them separately. So first attack is 14 plus 9.
So yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Do you want to do the second? Do the second one as well.
Yeah, and then the second one is a 16 plus 9.
Yeah, so both hit. So go ahead and do the full damage. What's that? 2d8?
It'll be 2d8 plus 8.
Nice.
So damage.
How much damage?
16. I rolled 8. I got 8 total, and then plus 8.
Cool. So 16 damage total. The Dragon Slayer cuts through the creature's body like it's nothing. Like the water just falls away, and you can hear it kind of like make these kind of supernatural sounding like screeches of pain as this as the magical weapon cuts through it. It takes the full damage, and you can see that there are kind of spots of red, kind of like growing within the creature's body.
Sweet.
Okay, Quinn is going to land on the floor next to you with a thud. And he takes... Oof, he takes 9 bludgeoning damage.
Jesus!
He fell like on a funny angle on his foot, and he just crumples on the floor.
Right, okay. He's definitely not feeling great after that, but
he's like, it was cool though.
He was like, it's worth it.
He was like, you see that, Belle? That's how you do it.
I do that thing where I just I just like hoist him back to his feet, just like, come on.
It's now the creature's turn, and it's still very much locked onto you. So it's going to go again. Oh my god! 8 minus 1, 7, plus 5, so 12.
Not gonna hit it.
It's just like furiously slashing at you, like trying to grab you. But these well, that wasn't even Bane that screwed it over then. That was just it can't hit you. You're too fast. Okay. Your turn. I think part of the reason is it's struggling because it can't move beyond, you notice that it can't move beyond the border of the water.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, and it's your go.
And I'm assuming now the body is too high for me to hit.
Yes.
But I can still... Was attacking, like, with water still doing damage to it?
Sorry, say again?
Like, was hitting its watery body still doing damage to it?
Yeah, it's still a creature. It still takes damage.
Okay, cool. I am going to use Ripple.
Cool.
And I'm going to... Yeah.
Yeah, so you swing in with Ripple.
Do I want to use this D20? It's really failing me. If it fails me now, I'm going to change. Okay, so that's a 13 plus 8, 21.
Plus how much, sorry?
Plus 8.
Okay. Discord's being annoying and it keeps cutting out. All right. But that definitely hits.
Okay, 1d8 plus 5. So 9 damage.
9 damage. So yeah, Ripple does what it was made to do and just slices through this creature as if it's nothing.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And it kind of just like there's like a big splash on this now ruined pier, and it lurches over. Okay.
Sweet.
Next round. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Quinn's turn. I should probably move him on the thing as well.
Can he move around and slash?
Yeah, we'll say he can. He can get to about here.
Okay, sweet. So he's going in with the 2 strikes.
Okay.
So strike number 1. I'm so glad that he's using the Dragon Slayer. 17.
17 hits.
Second attack. Oh, is it 18 plus 9? So
yeah, both hit very easily.
Okay, so 6, 3, so 9 plus 8, so 17 damage.
17 damage. So Quinn rushes up, like back onto the ruined pier because I think what happened is he fell, kind of like twisted his ankle a little bit and fell off the pier.
Oh shit.
Onto the beach, like just before the marsh. He gets up, hops up back onto the pier, slices down at the creature, takes a big chunk out of it, and then brings up the second cut and slices like straight through its lower portion. And as he does that, like as it connects and drags through, the entire form of this creature just dissipates. Like it just leaving only leaving only the form of the tiefling kind of suspended in the air. Her kind of her robes that she's wearing kind of floating around as if she were underwater. It immediately drops. She falls and kind of like lands kind of onto the pier unconscious.
She's alive.
Mm-hmm.
No mercy for. She was going to kill those people, and no, that's it. We're gonna end it. We're gonna take her out.
Okay.
So we're gonna finish her off, and
how are you gonna do that? I'm not letting you get away with this.
That's fine. I think, I feel like Quinn would be the one to do it, because he's just like, stay dead. He's going to, he'll bring up the Dragon Slayer, and he's gonna just nice clean stab in the chest.
Okay. And there's no more than that. You just kind of hear this like escape her as the sword plunges in, and he pulls it out.
Dourebelle is going to run to the end of the pier, and she's going to see if she can see any signs of whoever the fuck was swimming in the water.
Okay. Now that combat is over, I'm going to not worry about the tokens right now. I'm just going to kind of zoom us out a little bit on the
map.
On the map, so you can see more of it. Okay, so yeah, you jump into the water. It's kind of it's not that deep. It is quite a shallow marsh, but because it's a marsh, so it's kind of, its bed is like mud and not sand. It's very hard to move in.
Yeah.
So you kind of like slowly make your way over, especially in heavy armor. Like you can feel the water entering, kind of like going underneath all the plates of your armor, shifting and feeling very awkward. The only thing that doesn't feel awkward and struggling against it is the arm that's holding Ripple. Like Ripple is just moving through the water, like it's nothing.
She's like, wee! Yeah.
But you do eventually, like, you can feel the weight of your feet as they kind of like sink into the muddy floor, and then you have to like really like. It's like you know when the Game Grumps played Trauma Center, and they do the Jello hallway.
They talk about the Jello floor. Yes. Yeah.
All the way through, and you finally make it to. Actually, we'll see how fast you get there. Roll an athletics check for me.
Oh, okay. Ooh, natural 20.
Okay, so you get there.
Just like, vroom.
you arrive at the person, and you kind of like lift them out of the water. Just as they're kind of like, they were struggling, but the reason why the splashing had stopped is because they just had no strength left. So you see this person in the final moments of their consciousness before they pass out, and it's Scylla.
Oh shit! Okay.
So the halfborn, the halfling that you traveled down here with from the Wayside Inn.
Well, it's a good thing we got to her. I'm gonna drag island then.
Okay, so you kind of take her and you drag her over to the island, and you lay her down. Now that you're here, you can get a better look at everyone that's here, and it does look like soldiers, so just people kind of like wearing basic looking armor with swords and spears and stuff, and fishermen, so people
like
just
kind of like been herded there.
It looks like they've been placed there with intent. In amongst the bodies as well, also unconscious, you see Douredelle.
Oh my god. I'm gonna check and make sure they're all alive.
Yep. Make a medicine check. We'll just say one medicine check for all of them.
Well, it's 12.
12's fine. They're all alive, they're all unconscious, they're all stable, they're all soaked, And yeah, they're all a bit pale in the face, for those that can be, and they're not looking great. Yeah,
but you said they're stable.
they're all alive. Like, you come to the conclusion that whatever they were doing here was clearly some kind of offering / ritual.
Yeah.
Like, you surmise that whatever the tiefling / water elemental thing was planning to do next would involve these poor souls.
It would basically involve murdering all these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big sacrifice. Okay. And then I'm assuming Scylla is also like stable now that she's been dragged.
Yeah,
out
she
of the
literally just
one.
passed out, so
Oh, okay.
she's
Okay.
fine. She coughs up some water, some like muddy water, but she's fine. She'll live.
Quinn is going to, now that he sees like Dourebelle up and kind of checking on everyone, he's actually going to go investigate the shiny that was on the ground.
I think he was going to do that anyway.
Yeah, he's kind of like.
I think that Quinn would have followed you, but he would have taken his sweet time about it because he's quite short and he would have to swim.
Yeah.
But when he does finally arrive, he's like, "Are they all right?"
Yeah, they're all stable. They probably need some rest and some good warm blankets and food, but they'll be all right.
Okay. Well, from what I can't hear anything, it seems like the town's secure. Here, and he passes you both he passes you the pendant. He went out of his way to find the pendant that was underwater. And he also passes you a thin silver tube that looks like a scroll case.
I will see if I can open it out of curiosity.
You open the scroll case. It contains a scroll of mass cure wounds.
Oh shit. So basically I could use it right now.
If you wanted to.
What does mass cure wounds do again?
It's cure wounds. But you can do it on lots of people. Hang on, let me look it up for you. Mass cute wounds.
Yeah, man.
I have no idea what constitutes a cute wound. I don't want to find out.
When it unintentionally looks like a smiley face.
That's creepy and cursed though.
Yeah.
A wave of healing energy washes out from a point of your choice within range. Choose up to 6 creatures in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on that point. Point within 60 feet. Each creature regains 3d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Is there more than? I'm assuming there is more than 6 people here.
Yes.
I will leave it for the moment. I will put it back in the tube and put it in the pocket.
Cool. It's very good. It's a lot better than actual OG cure wounds. Like orders of magnitude better.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the pendant.
It's a simple kind of like silvery. No, it would be gold. It's a gold pendant that's kind of like one of those ones that's got like a clasp on it that opens up.
Yeah.
The actual pendant part of it, the chain is gold. The pendant part of it is also gold, but it looks like it's been like it's like chipped and there's a dent in it. It's not seen good times.
Right.
And then as you open it, you see a faded kind of drawing, kind of like a sketch of the tiefling that you saw before, although much younger, shorter hair, wearing much more kind of regal looking robes, kind of like almost like ceremonial robes. And then standing behind her, kind of off to the side, is a human wearing the same robes and with very kind of like angular features, looking extremely stern. And they have a symbol on them, like they're wearing a holy symbol. It's kind of hard to make out because the drawing is so small. Roll a Roll a religion check for me.
I don't think I have any pluses to that.
It's your intelligence, and if you're proficient.
It's a 17.
17. Okay. You can make out a let's have a look. A 10, is it 10 pointed? Yeah, I think it's a 10 pointed sun, which you recognize to be the holy symbol of I'm gonna butcher how you pronounce this. Ammonator.
Right.
Ammonator.
Ammonator.
Ammonator. You need to check the pronunciation of that. You recognize this is the holy symbol of the god of the sun, who is very much involved with lawmaking and kind of bureaucracy and kind of like law and order. Like he's very much a god of law and order.
So basically the complete opposite of Talos.
Yes.
Dourebelle is going to close the clasp for now, and she's gonna hold on to that, kind of with like a kind of like she's ruminating on something, and she's gonna look at Quinn and be like, she's gonna tell him, be like, Scylla is a lot braver than I expected her to be, but she's gonna be all right as well. She was the one who was swimming in the water.
Oh, bloody hell. I almost wish it was me on the island.
We should go back and get the townsfolk so that they can help move everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know where the boats are, so
good idea.
If you want Quinn, you can wait here and I can go do it.
Well, someone's got to watch Scylla, yeah?
Yes, it's very important that they're watching.
Well, we don't know if there are any more cultists around. We can't see any, but you know they're wily, aren't they?
Yeah, you've got your sword and you've got a healing potion. So I want you to stay here and guard the fort, and then I'm gonna go get everyone.
Yeah, good plan. So you make it. We'll montage past this. So you make your way back, and you arrive back at the settlers' camp.
Probably like sitting there like lifting bits of my armor and just like water's just
it's not a good look. Griselda, the dwarf that was kind of helming the town meeting that kind of before all of this kicked off, kind of like hurriedly makes her way over to you. I mean, she's a dwarf as well, so she's similar in stature. And she says, you introduce yourself. So she says, Dourebelle, what do you have to report?
The kids are safe and the town is secure. The threat has been dealt with.
The moment that you say the kids are safe, the kind of halfling with this sort of like faded like faux hawk haircut, wearing the robes, says, where are they?
They refuse to leave the hiding spot that you supposedly mentioned that they should go to if they're in danger. I couldn't convince them to leave.
He nods with that. He says, the Shrine of Lathander. Okay, thank you. And he says no more, and he just bolts towards the town. And he kind of, you see a couple of other priests, like, he gets their attention and they go with him.
I'm gonna turn back to Griselda and be like, I found the rest of the townsfolk and the soldiers. We need some boats, though, to get them off of the island in the marsh.
Right.
Or in the swamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Valde, get off your ass. We need boats. And the half elf with the kind of like green blue tips of her ears and the noticeable fangs kind of looks over at you, nods slowly and stands up. And she just says, right, come on, look alive, let's go get your friends. And they make their way towards where the boats are being kept, which is kind of on the edge of the edge. As she kind of like walks off, you can hear her like cry out behind you a small distance, being like, bloody hell, the pier's fucked again.
Griselda, I wanted to ask you, do you know any tieflings from like that resided here? Are there any
Tieflings.
tieflings that live here? Yeah.
I mean, we have tieflings among our number.
I was wondering if you could potentially identify this one that we ultimately had to take down in the fight. And I'm assuming as people are like going back, I'm assuming I would have like flipped her body over so she's just not like laying face down.
Okay.
But like it was a bit rough, but I kind of laid her sort of politely before bringing Griselda over to her.
Okay. So you bring her over to the body, and she looks her over. Says, So was this the one that was responsible for all this?
Yeah, she and a couple of others were leading a ritual to Talos. And we only just were able to stop her from presumably killing everyone on the island as a sacrifice in his name.
She kind of like takes a closer look, kind of like brushes the hair out of her face, kind of like takes a closer look, says, I feel like I've seen her somewhere before, but not in Leyland. She's not one of us.
Do you know if there's any worshippers of, oh my god, I've forgotten the name.
Aminator. I'm going to say it's Aminator. That's how I'm sticking with it for now. If it's wrong, we'll fix it.
Do you know if there's any worshippers of Aminator here?
Not here, no. I don't know why her voice was like that. Not here, no.
I'm curious. She seemed to have been a worshipper of a Minotaur and is now, was caught up in this ritual to Talos.
She could have originated from anywhere. I mean, Aminator is worshipped in all of the major cities.
Yeah.
But for her to... Let's save this for now. I've got a proposal for you.
Okay.
I'm going to call an emergency town meeting, just of the council, which is me, Valdi, names that I've forgotten. Me, Valdi, Haas, and Marigold. You're welcome to join us, and we will discuss this in more detail then.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everyone on the island is all right, and we need a bit of rest after that as well.
And they're going to need medical attention. We're going to need to get food sorted. We don't have time for this now, but we will sort it later. Oi! Take this body. Put it somewhere safe. We might need to examine it later. And a few people like hurry up and kind of take it and kind of wrap it in a cloth and start moving it away.
Yeah.
Okay. So a small time passes. In fact, we'll skip ahead, unless there's anything else that you want to do right now.
Not really. I mean, I'm concerned that everyone is safe and alive and well, but I'm also there's a part of Belle that is of course especially concerned for her brother.
Yeah, I mean you can go and see him if you want. We'll say that like you go down to kind of the area bordering on the marsh, like the little kind of mud bank, and Dourebelle is there. He is now conscious. He's got a warm drink in his hand. Sat nearby is Scylla.
Yeah.
And he's just
tending to her.
He's looking. Dourebelle is looking pretty. He basically has the same expression on his face that Dourebelle did when she failed to hit the thing after jumping off the stairs.
Oh, a bit pissed.
Looking a bit crestfallen and annoyed.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like sipping his drink solemnly.
Okay, I'll walk over to him and kind of plop down next to him.
He just
With,
sort
like,
of
a heavy sigh.
he shifts his head a little bit and looks over towards you.
I take one of my braids and sort of twist it to wring some of the water out, and I just go, "How you feeling?"
Well, better for seeing you. You certainly have a knack for timing, Dourebelle.
Oh, I wish I could have been here a bit sooner, but good at timing as any.
Yeah. Definitely better that you arrive late than not arrive at all. I take it that means you got my letter.
Yeah. And well, I'm glad to see you awake now. You don't have to answer it now, but I was curious as to what you last remember before you went unconscious.
I was stood at the gates, the northwestern gate. It's on the opposite side of town from where the settlers' camp is. Yeah, I'll show you. Kind of up here. That one there.
Oh yeah.
I was there. I was on my break, and to be honest, I was waiting to see if you would show up. It'd been a couple of weeks since I sent that letter, and there was just the part of me that wondered if today was going to be the day. And stupidly, that put me first in the path of whoever it was that decided they had taken issue with us building here today.
Yeah, worshippers of Talos.
Right. But why here? We're not even doing anything. We're just trying to rebuild it. What have we got that Talos could possibly want? Or the followers of Talos? Or are they just being dicks for the sake of it?
I don't know. But I'm planning on sticking around to figure that out. They're going to have a council meeting about one of the bodies. The ringleader of what was going on. Kind of go from there, but I'm going to stick around to see what happens. I mean, I was concerned enough with your letter, and now all of this.
Well, when I sent the letter, it was all just rumors. People talking about things that they'd seen while building, while out fishing, working the stone. I didn't think anything of it when I started penning the letter, but then I started seeing them myself. Shadows out in the marsh. I suppose this explains it.
What do they look like?
They're too far away and too obscure to tell. I mean, my initial assumption is it was the people that attacked today.
It could
Looks like they've had eyes on this place for a while.
Yeah, but it's worth keeping an eye out because it's either more of them or it's something else. Or someone else.
They said that we were found on the island.
Yeah, you were on the island. You and all the soldiers were unconscious. From what was going on during all of the fight, it looked like they were going to perhaps sacrifice you, like the lot of you on that island, but I'm not sure what the significance of it is. I'm going to look over at it. Can I see like those? Is this map an accurate representation, sort of what? Because I'm curious about what those 3 points are.
More or less, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I just move the node just so we can see what she's talking about. Yeah. So you would have seen these as you were on the island. You would have taken them in kind of as you were doing stuff. They're basically just a few statues. They're like the crumbled remains of what appear to be human nobles.
Yeah. The statues might be worth investigating further. Perhaps related to whatever they were up to.
Who knows? I've heard stories of people hearing whispers out over there.
What kind of whispers? If you know.
Nothing in particular, just sounds like
talking.
something about destiny. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. It's all superstition.
Well, looks like I'm gonna be asking around, see if I can follow some of these rumors. I mean, since I'll be here, if you hear anything else, you'll know where to find me this time. Yeah, I'm kind of not sure why this is going on. I'm gonna wait to hear and see what the council has to say, and then go from there.
Yeah, good idea. Well, thank you for heeding my letter. Anyway, turns out that I'm not paranoid after all.
No, I mean the very fact that you mentioned it, figured you must have been concerned enough to mention it to me.
It's good to see you, Dourebelle.
You're looking well, despite despite what happened. You're looking pretty all right.
Yeah, the whole mining gig at Mountain's Toe was short lived. The person that they brought in to replace Don John, after he was already replacing somebody else, was a bit of a scumbag. They just rubbed me up the wrong way. So I left and went back to Neverwinter, and was quickly reassigned to this job, helping to rebuild Leylon. And it was an excuse to kind of get closer to where I knew that you were active, to kind of stay near to the family over in the Boulder, while also staying as far away as possible.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so I heard you killed a dragon.
Yeah, that was very well. I mean, it was a dragon, but it was also uncle. So
He kind of looks at you like, what?
And I guess I will because he's sort of resting. I'll give him the super quick rundown.
Okay. Ice Dragon, evil uncle tried to take Ice Dragon's body.
And then we murdered him.
Yeah, and then you killed them both.
Yeah.
And Duradon kind of like, his eyes glaze over a little bit as you give him the clip note, the cliff note explanation. He just says, well, he was always a bit of an old dragon himself anyway. I don't see the need why he would want to, need a body of one. He was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never liked him anyway.
Yeah, neither did I, but in any case, that's been done. Gregor is out there somewhere. I heard rumors that some of his kids have been kicked out of Verbolder as well. So
yeah, I heard that as well.
Keep your wits about you. We might run into some more relatives.
They're already well aware to not let anyone connected to our uncle in.
Yeah. Well, in any case, you get your rest. We can catch up better when you're, don't look like you're half drowned.
Yeah, sounds good. I would offer to meet you at the inn, but we don't have one yet.
We'll just find each other.
No worries. All right. Well, thanks, sis.
I give him like a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah. Cool. Are you gonna do anything else?
I'm gonna make sure that Quinn isn't harassing Scylla too much.
He's only half harassing her.
It's more like I'm just gonna kind of look over at him and see what he's like, kind of like, you better.
So they are in the middle of a conversation because Scylla is awake as well,
yeah.
And she's kind of looking sheepish, kind of like staring at the bottom of her cup, looking sorry for herself. And Quinn's just like, "What? Why'd you do that? Why'd you just run out into the water like that? And you put yourself in danger. Like, it was very brave. I'm very impressed. And I'm Quinn Eyetopple. I don't get impressed easy." And she just kind of sniffs a little bit and says, I was... and she kind of clams up.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk up and be like, Quinn, are you bothering her?
No.
Is he bothering you? Still?
Yes.
Is he bothering you?
Yeah, he is.
Come on, Quinn. She's resting. Give her some space.
Oh, fuck off! I'm being good company.
We have things we need to discuss, anyways. We can talk more later.
All right. He stands up, and as the pair of you kind of like turn to leave, she just says, "Wait." Kind of directed towards you.
Yeah.
You gonna.
Yeah, I'll stop.
Okay.
I'll stop and look.
Don't tell Valdi that I started drowning. That I did that. It was stupid. I'm stupid.
Well, it was stupid, but it was also incredibly brave of you. I mean, most of those people who were outside the walls were too scared to even step foot inside town, and you, a stranger, had the courage to jump into the water. Despite that,
I just thought that if I did, and I showed I wasn't a stranger to it, and that I was willing to help out her employees, she would take notice.
Well, I'm sure she has, and if she hasn't, then I'm going to put a good word in for you.
And she just nods and kind of returns to staring in the bottom of her cup, kind of red-faced.
Okay, and then I'll leave her be.
Okay. So is that everything you'd like to do at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So we move on to the kind of early evening. Everything's calmed down. All the order has been restored to a point. And the sun is starting to set. And a campfire has been set up in the middle of the settler camp. You hear a few like hustle and bustle, and a few voices. Griselda especially saying, "There's going to be a town meeting. Sorry, there's going to be a council meeting tonight at the bonfire. Mind your own business for an hour." Basically, being very stern about it.
Oh, but don't eavesdrop. We're gonna have a conversation.
She makes it very clear that you and Quinn are both invited, though.
Yeah,
like,
we'll be
you
going.
are our esteemed guests.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the meeting, of course.
Okay. So
we're gonna walk over the 10 feet to listen in and be there at the meeting.
Yeah. So no, you're welcome to, like, Marigold, who's the halfling priest, kind of gestures for you to come and sit down next to him, and he's like, please take a seat.
Yeah, I do.
And he offers you a couple of rations and just like little bits and bobs to feed you.
Yeah.
And you all kind of awkwardly sit around and go, and Griselda says, "Right," she says, sipping on a gigantic flagon of ale.
Which to a dwarf is pretty normal.
Yeah. She says, "Right. Well, I'm going to call this meeting into session at the town council. I would like to introduce our esteemed guests, who I think you've all been acquainted with. This is Dourebelle Boulderbane and her companion Quinn Hightopple. They were instrumental in securing Leylon after the attack today. Everyone say thank you." And they all just kind of awkwardly say thanks. Marigold, the halfling, kind of gives you this big beaming smile. And then after that, like, they all kind of like mumbling like, yeah, thank you. Because I was like, right, Dourebelle, what can you tell us about the attack?
I will recount what happened. I'll recount about when we encountered the tiefling woman and the two was it orcs that were with her?
No, they were humans.
They were humans. Okay, the two berserker humans that were with her, and I'll tell about how they went into like a fervor, and then we tried to stop whatever she was doing, but she turned into the water beast, and before the water beast could go to the island where all the people were, we managed to get its attention away. She probably apologizes at this point for the state of the pier, of the docks, for having to basically run this creature through it so that she could fight it properly. And then, after she finishes that up, she will mention about what she had told Griselda about, who this tiefling, where did this tiefling come from, and I think she'd ask at this point, she'd be like, there's a lot of question from those who were on the island regarding this, wondering why the island of all places. Is there something significant about that piece of land specifically?
There's kind of an awkward silence for a moment, and Haz, the kind of bald-headed human, who's kind of like wearing, he seems to be slightly better armored than the rest of the guards. He's kind of got his spear is kind of like lodged in the ground next to him, and he's leaning on it. And he says, Gallio would know. We should just wait until Gallio gets here. He'll sort this all out. And Valdi's just like, Gallio's not going to be here for another week. We can sort this out on our own. I've heard several of the fishing crew mention that island, claiming that they hear whispers when they go near it, invitations to witness their destiny.
Yeah, my brother mentioned something about that as well when he said that because he thought it was all rumors as well, and then apparently he started hearing them as well when he was on the boats with them.
It makes them all very uncomfortable, so a lot of them try to avoid it when they can. However, there doesn't appear to have been anything harmful to have come of it. I can only assume that maybe it's some sort of site of magical importance, which regrettably would mean that Gallio might know more than we do, or be able to find out more than we do. But if there is some sort of magical phenomenon going on there, then I suppose it would be the perfect site for some sort of ritual.
Yeah, because it looked, well, I say this, but I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like the next step, whatever ritual the tiefling was performing, was basically sacrificing everyone who was on the island, but I couldn't say for certain.
Well, it's a good thing that you stopped them. Good fishermen are hard to come by these days. Okay. So yeah, she nods. Griselda kind of nods as well and says, if you all had an opportunity to look at the body of who we presume to be the leader of this racket, and they all nod. Does anyone recognize her? I swear I've seen her before. I mentioned this to Dourebelle before. And they all kind of hum and ha. And Marigold pipes up and says, Griselda, I'm positive as well that I've seen them before.
If it helps any, I found something on her body. It's a children's drawing of the tiefling that she must have done when she was younger. And there was a man in the back.
It wasn't a children's drawing. Just to point that out, it was a professional sketch.
Oh right,
it's like the Forgotten Realms equivalent of a photograph, essentially. It's like a mini portrait.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll pull it out and I'll be like, it's very small and hard to see, but there is a drawing here of a man in the back who is a minotaur who's wearing his robes, and I don't know if you guys maybe perhaps recognize this fellow, and I'll let them.
Who do you pass it to?
So it was Griselda and Marigold that said that they.
Yes.
I will show. I'll show Marigold just because she piped up. So, like, kind of, I'll show her first.
Marigold's a dude, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I will show him first.
It's very confusing because they do refer to Marigold as both male and female. And at first I wasn't sure if it was a gender fluid thing, but that was never explicitly mentioned. So
I will show it to them.
But the mention of it basically they're only referred to as her once, and the rest of the time throughout the whole adventure they're referred to as him. So I'm going to assume it's a typo.
Yeah.
So yeah, you pass it to Marigold, and he looks over it, and he kind of like leans over to the fire. Doesn't quite get enough light from the fire, so he snaps his fingers and casts light on just like a stick or something on the ground.
Yeah.
And starts kind of like studying it. And he says, "Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I recognize." It's really scouring my memory at this point. But I'm pretty confident. In fact, I'm 100% certain that gentleman in the back of that drawing is Ark Creighton. And there's kind of like a pause and a hubbub. It says, yes, Ark Creighton is the head of the Shrine of Aminator back in Neverwinter. And I remember, this is several years ago, I remember there being some sort of news, some sort of disturbance around whether or not he had a daughter in the first place. And there was a big scandal, and then it disappeared as quickly as it emerged. But judging by this drawing here, it's whoever this person is. I presume this to be his daughter. The fact that her being a tiefling is neither here nor there to me, but I know the Church of Aminator can be a bit of they're a bureaucratic bunch, and they'd probably see something like that as an ill omen. It's all what with the connection to Asmodeus and all that.
Is he still alive?
Ark Creighton?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Might be worth paying a visit to him at some point, but I honestly don't want to.
It would be quite difficult to organize a meeting with Ark Creighton. I think the Church of Aminator is extremely bureaucratic, and being at the top of that, it would probably require weeks, months, or even years to organize a meeting.
Perhaps I will pen a letter now, and then maybe by the time whatever is happening, whatever this mystery is solved, we will hear back. But I will go on the assumption that we're not going to hear any answers from him. Just say that.
Indeed.
At least not right away.
Very peculiar to see. Well, and then Griselda pipes in as well. Nevertheless, no matter who she was, no matter who this Ark Creighton is, she's dead, and the threat is over at least, and we can go back to focusing on rebuilding Leylon, which brings us to my second order of business, is security. And you hear Valdi kind of like shake her head and go, "Oh, for God's sake, here we go again." And she looks, Griselda looks at you dead in the eye and says, "Dourebelle, you have proven to me through your actions and what's transpired here today that our security force is not up to the task of defending this town while we rebuild it." And she kind of like gives Haz like the death stare. What were you doing while all this was going on, Haz? He's like, I was protecting you out here. Any excuse. Absolute sniveling coward. In any case,
ruthless.
I would like to offer you a home in Leylon.
Home?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I will draw
I
up the
don't-
deed myself, and it will be purpose-built for you to remain here at no cost. The only thing that I ask is that you remain vigilant and aid us in the rebuilding of this town.
I'm more than happy to stay and oversee everything up until the end. Once the town is rebuilt and secure, I will probably end up leaving, but I'll stay until as such time. Especially as, you know, I guess I have a bit of a soft spot because my brother is here. But yes, I will. I feel like you're going so far, but I'm more than happy to stay.
We have the town isn't
some
even
time.
populated yet. We have 50 people here working on rebuilding. It's no skin off our nose to offer you a property. And I think that you will bring great value not only to our security, but also the town as a whole. I need someone here that will actually do something.
Well, you can say that you've got at least 2 here.
Do I get a house too? I presumed that you would be living together. Oh. It's just like bullshit. And that Marigold just kind of like pats his shoulder and says, "Never mind, friend."
Dourebelle's just like, Quinn, we can worry about that later. But yes.
Because this brings me to my next point. On the topic of security, we really need to finish the palisade. I think palisade, is palisade the right word? No, it's not. Is it? I need to check what the... Yeah, no, it is right. It is right. We need to finish the palisade, and we need to increase security at both the northern and southern entrances to the town. We cannot let this happen again. And Valdi just kind of like shakes her head and says, "Griselda, you go on and on about this, but I'm telling you, we need to focus on we need to focus on infrastructure, and we need to focus on enterprise. We need to finish the pier and the fishery properly. We need to get this place sufficient and making its own money from fishing and trading those fish with the nearby settlements. We can't just magic security in a full palisade that covers the entire town out of nowhere." And they both like start arguing. She's like, "Well, what are you gonna do if those freaks of Talos come back again?" And then Haz kind of pops and goes, "Oi, you two, we shouldn't make any decisions until Gallio arrives. He'll know what to do." She's like, "Oh, shut up."
I'm going to turn to the guy I was sitting next to.
Marigold.
I'm assuming... Yeah, he wasn't in the argument, is he?
No, he's kind of like watching them.
I'm going to turn to Marigold and I'm going to be like, who is this Gallio fellow that keeps being mentioned?
Gallio Elibro is a wizard local to Neverwinter. He's been assigned to come and he kind of gestures over into the town because you can kind of see the skyline.
Yeah.
And he points at one particular tower in the center that's kind of like one of the only majorly intact buildings that's left. And he says, "None of us really know how Leylon got destroyed in the first place, but the rumors say that it has something to do with that tower. But none of us want to step foot in there because it's, well, by the look of its design and the energy surrounding it, it appears to have previously been a wizard's tower. So we are awaiting placement of a wizard from Neverwinter to take up residence there and essentially give us a bit more direction on how we can deal with stuff like that. But he's still about a week away. He's on other business at the moment."
Right, okay.
And the kind of voices get louder and louder and louder, and eventually Marigold just says, "Everyone," kind of in a really low tone. And Griselda's just like, "And you shut up!" And she looks Marigold like dead in the face, with this kind of like teeth grit, like full of dwarven rage. And she kind of like looks at Marigold's face, and she just kind of like, I think we should let our intrepid heroes of the day perhaps have a say in what we do. What do you think? Or at least relieve this deadlock that we have.
Well, I think both of you have the right of it. I think the town both needs security and needs its enterprise going. So why not offer something similar that you've just offered me to hired arms and get them to come in for security? Maybe offer them either a discount or offer them a home and food and some of the fish in return for paid live-in security, essentially. And that way it gets trained bodies into the town, into the walls to guard it, and in return those who can do the fishing can do so with peace of mind.
Mercenaries, Griselda says.
If Neverwinter isn't going to send better soldiers, that would be my offer, but that does come with the vetted risk of the mercenaries basically bullying their way around, bullying the town.
Make a persuasion check.
It's a 12.
12.
But Dourebelle is offering this up as just sort of a food for thought. It's not.
And Valdi.
And she would even say, like, it's not a perfect solution, but it is. I figure it is at least something to consider.
Valdi kind of like pipes up and says, she makes a good point. Yeah, and Griselda just kind of like, I will request additional support from the Open Lord. This is a task that Open Lord Dagult Neverember personally gave me this task to oversee the rebuilding of Leylon. He wants this town rebuilt, secure, and operating for the benefit of not just Neverwinter, but the entire Sword Coast. I will beseech him for greater support when I give my report, and then we will see what support he sends. However, if we feel that that is not enough, then I will consider making a similar offering to you. You have to understand, Dourebelle, that I offered you, while I said it's no skin off our nose, to freely home a renowned adventurer known for slaying a dragon, and with a resume of heroics and good deeds, offering such accommodation to outsiders with maybe a more nefarious hymn sheet is slightly less appetizing to me. Sorry.
I understand. I didn't mean to say offer them free homes, but I'm perhaps I guess a discount or just some sort of beneficial trade. And I do appreciate that there is that risk that comes to it as well. I would hope that when you beseech the Lord, that he will understand that if he is as keen on this place and feels as strongly, that he will send much more needed support.
And you
I'm
see
happy
like
to
this kind
remain
of like
here for a
slow,
period of time.
this slow smile kind of like appear on her face, and she leans in, and she says, "Well, I have tasked you with helping this city or helping this town. What if you did it?"
You want me to look for mercenaries to bring in to guard?
I will put the word out. I want you to vet them.
Sure.
Very well.
That's not. I don't find that to be a problem.
Yeah, this could work. You could use your judgment as an adventurer. That's going to be far more valuable than any of ours. You know, I judge people for their workmanship skills. Valdi, you value people that are good at their jobs. You know, good fishers. They've got a good eye for the water. And Valdi nods. Marigold, man of the cloth. You revere people with faith. Nods. And she just shrugs and says, I don't know. Whoever runs the fastest, I suppose. Yeah, this could work well. I think the people of Leylon will be more comfortable allowing hired hands that aren't from Neverwinter into the town if they know that they've been approved by you.
If that is the case as well, I would be curious to meet the current guard once everyone is a bit better rested. Maybe gather information, not necessarily on, what, like, but I'm curious as to how all of them were so quickly dealt with. Well, all of them being the handful, but...
Yes, well, the Open Lord didn't give me a lot. He gave me what he could afford to spare. She kind of... Valdi at this point says, he gave us what he could afford to lose, Griselda. And Griselda just doesn't answer.
Because she knows it's true. Ooh. Dourebelle doesn't say that.
And then, Marigold just kind of looks up and goes, so, that's it then? You're going to stay with us?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate that I'm a servant of Lathander, and you yourself, I presume, are of worship a greater deity of forgive me to assume, but dwarven descent, dwarven origin.
I am a servant of Moradin. Yes.
Ah, excellent. The Allhammer, I believe they call him.
Yes.
How auspicious. Very fitting that you would arrive at this time and help us fix this city. Town. Whatever it is.
Well, perhaps Moradin used my brother as a guiding hand to bring me here. Who knows?
I like the sound of that.
It was just fate. Yes.
That pleases me. And I will thank Lathander for the hand that he surely had in this as well. You're more than welcome to pay us a visit at the shrine should you see fit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And Griselda looking a bit kind of like, right, well, so you Dourebelle, and take Haas with you in the morning. He will introduce you to the guard, and you can organize your plan. Valdi, we will put the hands together to repair the pier, and then we will work on the palisade. Valdi's just like, thank you. I think that's everything.
Dourebelle just gives a nod.
Right. Meeting adjourned. Get some rest. And she just stands up and leaves immediately.
Seems about right.
And then Valdi kind of looks at you and just as once she gets out of eye shot or earshot, should I say, she like shrugs and says, and she wonders why people call her the Growler behind her back. Honestly, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Dourebelle just shrugs a little bit and says, you know, dwarven disposition is like that.
Yeah, Quinn is just like, she's just as bad. Don't worry, they're like two peas in a pod. They're basically sisters.
Dourebelle gives him a look.
What?
Right. Well, I'm glad that the council meeting could end at least mostly amicably.
Yeah, it seems like you've got a way forward. Things have taken an interesting turn, I think, in terms of Dourebelle's like agreement and responsibilities. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's gonna be great.
Valdi, kind of like Marigold and Has kind of leave. He kind of like looks at you with it and kind of gives like a huff, kind of like, oh, I don't like this.
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, he's like, he's been upstaged.
Yeah.
So he leaves as well, and Marigold just says, very very good night to you both, and once again, like, thank you. The children are safe. You've saved the town. We can't thank you enough. Honestly, I don't think a property is even enough, but I only have so much sway.
Well, I mean, to me, a property is too much, but
We'll agree to disagree then.
I feel it would be rude to refuse.
I don't think Griselda would let you refuse.
That's true. We'd probably end up in a fight over it.
Quinn's just like, see, two peas in a pod.
Have a good night, Marigold.
Okay, and then Marigold leaves, and Valdi kind of like looks over. She kind of shuffles closer to you, this half elf. Yeah. She kind of like plunks herself down. She says, I'm sorry you had to witness that. Somehow Griselda has a very... I'm very good at keeping my composure usually, but Griselda has a knack for just reaching in and pulling out my darkest side.
It's all right. I mean, it's been a pretty... From what it seems like, these times have been pretty tense for Leylon and for you folks. So
it's been challenging. Trying to rebuild a town with 50 people is, well, let's face it. I think Neverember was hoping for something short of a miracle.
She looks over at the side of the town and goes, "Yeah, well,
but we do what we can, and in my view, if we're successful, it's great for business."
As the business grows, more people will turn up, and then it won't feel so empty anymore.
I'm just good for sniffing out an opportunity. This the fish here are it's a particularly good area for high quality fish. So I'm just trying to take advantage of the opportunity while I saw it. I may have muscled in on the deal.
Is that perhaps why Griselda finds you irritating?
I think she finds me irritating in that my focus is more on getting the people of Leylon fed and getting us an income that is separate from the pittance that the Open Lord permits us for rebuilding the town. I think the sooner we become autonomous, the better. But yes. She's... For good or for ill, she hangs off the Open Lord's every word.
Well, ultimately, you both have the intentions of the people at heart, and I think it's not quite so difficult to find the middle ground. It's just taking that step back to appreciate each other, I guess.
Roll a persuasion check. I'm just curious.
Oh man, 19.
19. She sighs and nods and says, "Yes, maybe you're right. Maybe I was too quick to raise my voice."
But that advice goes both ways, though.
Indeed, but you can either throw oil or water on the fire. Am I right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to adjourn. And as she starts standing up, you feel like a sharp jab in your side.
Yeah.
It's Quinn like nudging you.
I look at him like what?
He's just like, just tell her about the. Tell her about Scylla.
Oh yes. By the way, you were looking for some Are you looking for some extra helping hands? In your
Why are you asking?
endeavors?
Why do you want a job?
Well, I do know someone who is looking for work, and she showed great bravery actually today. And I'll tell Scylla about how I met Scylla and how she jumped in the water to try and save everyone on the island, even though the odds were stacked very much against her. And then I'll just say she came down here looking for work and.
And you say that she attempted to swim all the way out to the island, despite everything that you said everything that you said happened.
She made it pretty far, to be honest, before her strength unfortunately gave way. But I don't want to speak ill of the others, but apparently it presumes like she did more than Haas.
Well, Haas, ignoring Haas, because he's a wet blanket. But we were in defense of my fellow settlers. We were ordered to leave town, and unfortunately, the order of the guard is we have no place to argue it because they answer directly to the open lord.
I understand.
However, I am intrigued by what you've said. I'm curious and a bit concerned that she was so reckless.
She's young, but
I am intrigued though.
Yeah.
Bring her to me in the morning, or after you've done what it is that you've agreed with Griselda that you will do. Bring her to me, and I'll speak to her, and we could always use more hands.
Very well.
Okay. So with that, she stands up and says, "Oh well, without Griselda commanding me to, thank you again. Less so for destroying the pier, but that's."
I apologize for that. I didn't realize.
I was joking. It's fine. Sorry, it didn't come off.
No,
well.
I did get it. I still feel a bit bad, but that it happened.
And she kind of gives you a smile and makes her way off as well.
Thank you for reminding me, Quinn.
I wasn't going to let you forget.
Oh, no, huh?
Well, look, right, if she gets a job, yeah, she can treat me to dinner.
Well, then, how about you can collect her tomorrow morning and you can deliver the good news and get her ready.
That's a great idea. Maybe I'll even say I was the one to convince her. Oh, she was skeptical, she was. Being like, oh, young, reckless halfling. Oh, I don't know. And I was like, look, listen, right? She swam out all that way. Just think what she could do on a fishing boat. That's some strength, that is. That's some upper arm strength swimming all that way. Especially for a halfling. We've only got short arms.
Yeah, you can do that, Quinn.
I can't believe Dourebelle is inadvertently being Quinn's wingman.
She's just like, well, I guess it's one of those things where it's like Quinn seems very keen on her and Dourebelle doesn't want to like, and well, it's like you said, like, when's the last time we've really encountered halflings?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that part of it that's like, I'll just leave him be. I'll make sure he's not harassing her, but
Yeah, he does it properly.
Yeah, if
But-
he's he's survived an ordeal. If he's gonna try and woo a lady, then Dourebelle's gonna not really get in the way of that.
That's fair enough.
Let him do his thing, I guess.
What was I gonna say? Damn it! I had a thought, but it's gone. So never mind.
Something about Dourebelle wingmanning for
Yeah.
him.
I think we'll leave it there. You and Quinn go to bed, get a good night's rest, a good long rest,
Yeah.
and we can start off in the morning. And I've got an interesting session to plan, I think.
Yeah, man, because I'm gonna be going and I'm gonna be talking to the guards and
Already, I like this because Dragon of Ice Spire Peak, we basically played it like page for page to the book.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a few differences here and there, whereas this has already kind of gone already in an interesting and unique direction.
Because Dourebelle's decided she's gonna hole up and take a security job here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's sort of what she did in Phandalin.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, she did odd jobs, and then it sort of became security detail for a bit.
Cool. Okay. Well, with that, we'll end it there. So I certainly hope that you guys watching at home enjoyed this session. I'm very glad that we, like I said, I think the shift in focus to, like, that was a really good session, like roleplay wise. Don't know what you think, Emily.
No, it was really fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's finding that balance, isn't it? And I think I'll try and continue to have the balance more on this side of the roleplay battle scales.
Yeah. I mean, the battle ended up. In the end, the one thing that I was hoping to try and do in that fight happened, which I'm glad for, and that was literally just get its attention away from the people.
Yeah, and it was
me,
awesome
so.
because you cursed out their god.
Yeah,
it's the best way to get someone's attention. But yes, anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. As I mentioned at the start, like, please consider supporting the channel both on YouTube and on Twitch if you can. We'd really appreciate it if we could grow this little community, and we certainly hope that you will join us next week for the next episode of Stormlord's Wrath.
lightning bolts.
Have a good night, guys. Stay safe.